Hey guys, another video from the Anti-Nerd here, and today I'm bringing Dragon Man, this new Marvel Legends released by Hasbro, Fantastic Four action figure, and I did not pre-order this figure when in 2024 it was made to order. There was a 1 month window. I was just starting collecting. I thought $85 was a lot for a figure, but luckily I was able to get it because apparently for only 1 day they decided to sell some units. Maybe it was canceled pre-orders, I'm not sure, but I did get mine. I was feeling a little bit of FOMO with this figure, and now I have it, and I'm very excited to review it because I think this figure might be one of the best top 10 Marvel Legends figures of 2025. So let's talk about it a little bit before I do the review. This figure does this amazing throwback nostalgic style to the Toy Biz packaging. This particular packaging is a throwback to the Fantastic Four Classics by Toy Biz, which was a line that existed when Marvel Legends was starting, and of course followed the Spider-Man Classic style. Also, curious fact is that Dragon Man from the Toy Biz was one of the most expensive figures on eBay on the aftermarket for many years. If you want to get one sealed, you're probably gonna have a really hard time finding an affordable price, because I've seen it for about even $500, that old figure, and that was considered one of the holy grails. It scaled very very well with the Marvel Legends, although this new one is way bigger than that, and I just love the packaging. The FOMO I felt mostly when I saw this figure that people were getting in hands was the packaging, because I am nuts about artworks of those packagings. Is one of the main reasons I collect, and of course was one of the main reasons I got back into collecting. So let's take a look here at the packaging. I'm not sure if the artwork is exactly the same, but I do believe is way similar to the old one. So you can see on the screen the old Toy Biz one. It has that grotesque Toy Biz vibe. It is super articulated, has articulation in the fingers, and I think they did an amazing job with this Dragon Man right here. Here's the sides. The both sides, left and right, are the same in the packaging, but the artwork in the back also amazing. Very cool artwork, totally inspired by the Fantastic Four Classics line by Toy Biz, and he does come with two sets of wings, so would be two different pairs of wings, would be 4 pieces in total. I do believe that the right image right here is showing his closed wing as if they're folded, and of course we have the open wings, which would be the main attraction of this set, considering his wing style, because it is bigger and is the one that's displayed in the front cover image. So without further ado, let's open this guy. I can already feel it is a super heavy figure. I am not sure if I hold it or if I owned such a heavy Marvel Legends figure. This one is just massive. It comes with 3 parts of the plastic blister, and the wings are pretty heavy, very heavy and very detailed. The sculpt, I will show them in more details in a bit. So let's do a quick comparison here in size, so you guys have a little bit of an idea how big this guy is. This is the thing from the Super Scroll wave that came out a few years ago. You know that this guy is a little chunky. He's not the tallest Marvel Legend. He's by far way smaller than the Hulk, but you can have an idea there, because he's a little bit taller than your average Marvel Legends, I do believe. But he's chunky, and this Dragon Man, not only he's tall, but he is chunky, he is big, and he's super articulated, and that's gonna be one of the main themes I want to discuss here, because in this figure they do prove that they can make a highly articulated figure, pinless technology, and with double joints, and with all the articulation you would expect from modern Marvel Legends. So there's a little bit of a controversy regarding the Hulk, which I'm gonna talk in a bit. So let's take a look at the tail here. Tail's a little too big for me, but I'm not gonna criticize that, because the character in the comic books, he probably had this long tail. So I don't have a complaint with that. It is bendable. It is cool. So here's the book, the Future Foundation book, which you can also display on your other Fantastic Four Marvel Legends figures. So interesting accessory, and does give a very interesting intellectual vibe to the character. Also, his alternative handsets, the feasting hands, they are big and they are well painted. They have these types of texture here, like a fish scam. So I thought this already in hands, the first impression, it is very good. His head is just massive. So his tail is a little too big. That will be a little bit of my problem, but that's more not an aesthetic problem, more like a function of posability of the character. If you wanna stand him in a shelf, the tail is definitely gonna be something to worry about. The head is big. His brain has these veins. It's really crazy. His range of the head's not that good. I also read some complaints about not being too far. He's the open mouth. Very cool effect that you can open and close his mouth and without a need of an alternative head sculpt. So you can literally just change his face expression by opening or closing his mouth, and has a big range. But his head does not have a big range, which was a complaint for a character that flies. That's what I read. So the butterfly joints, absolute no complaint, only compliments, because the range here is crazy, and the continuation of the sculpt, it is very well done. So this figure for $85 would be like even more than a deluxe, like a mega deluxe. And you can see how sharp the continuation of the sculpt there and the texture of the skin is. So the range on the abdominal cut here, the crunch, is also very interesting. On the sides, not that much, but back and forth, it is a good range. And I do believe that from the comments I see, usually that is the preferred cut for the torso ab articulation, right? People do like the double articulation, the crunch, but this one just has that cut. But the shading, it is beautiful, because the painting does remind of the old Toy Biz figure, because Toy Biz was the king of using shading, of using different tones, different shades of the same color. So here we have a wide range of the purple color. Even his kind of like his underwear there is a kind of like a variation of purple, a little bit brownish, but I would say it's still purple. And the foot articulation here, feet articulation, also has a crazy range. He does move a lot, and it is a Toy Biz legacy in a way, I feel, because that was a standard for pretty much all Marvel Legends I can remember, is to put that swivel in the feet, like the toe articulation itself, so you can bend just the point of the toe. So the joints here on the knees are really sturdy. They're really tough. They're hard to move, but I'm sure if I work a little bit with the toy here, I'm unboxing with you guys. So he's brand new, and the joints here on the elbows are super hard. So the other articulations, they're fine, but those ones, they will need a little work. But they do prove that you can make the double joint on a big figure. Like the Maximum Hulk did not come with double elbow joints. Wasn't an arm upgrade at all. Was a pure recycling, right, of the whole arm, hands and arm. But look at this Dragon Man. His range with the butterfly is crazy. His elbow articulation is impressive for a toy that is that size, but you can see that the articulation itself, where connects the upper and down part of the leg and of the arm, it is really small. So they really worked well on that character, and I do feel that's a new model of business of them, like putting the figure before, like a year before, so they can make it really well. Maybe the quality control issues can be better solved, and that is also a way of not, I mean, they don't charge you when you make the pre-order, so they have an idea of how many they will manufacture. but I saw a lot of people mad about people that got the figure before. They were mad about people getting now because, oh, why do I made a pre-order like a year ago? Which I think it's just selfish, because if they can sell the figure now, like, why not? Maybe it could be a little more expensive, to feel like the people who pre-order benefit better. But at the end of the day, they did not charge their cards until now, so it's not like you made such a big thing, like you didn't put your money in advance, right? So there's no point of complaining. Let's take a look at the wings, and they are huge, they are heavy, they're super well done. The sculpt is really detailed, has some veins, has some holes, as if he's kind of old. And this Dragonman character, as far as I know, because I confess I don't know much about this character. He is an android. He's not a dragon, and he's not a man. He's an android. And what I know is that he wasn't such a smart character in the beginning of his creation, but he was upgraded by Valeria Richards, the daughter of Reed Richards, that updated him into having a super brain. So now that version is the one we're seeing with the huge brain. He's like a super smart android, and he helps the Fantastic Four, right? So he's part of the Future Foundation, and I think the totally purple wings here, the closed wings, they look just as good as the open wings. Of course, there's not that color variation, but it doesn't matter. They look awesome, and I think I like their shape maybe a little bit better, because you can make poses of him walking and reading. Like, why would he have his both wings open when he's reading or when he's just sitting there, right? So I think it's a cool option that they gave it to us, instead of offering us just one wing. I think they covered a lot of things with this toy right here. They do offer a little bit of accessories, not crazy, but the accessories they offer, they are good. They're good quality, and I would say kind of the wings, they are half part of him, half accessory, because they're swappable, so we have more options. And I think they did good choices, and I don't see much problem in this figure. But yeah, the open wings, they do stand out a lot. He looks super menacing, he looks super strong, and you guys are gonna see soon he's pretty big. This guy's huge. So here's with his open wings, that is very impressive. Has the same holes and texture, veins there, but I don't know, the painting they went with this one, it seems that they use more paint, but also they use more shades, they use more color variation within the tones. And it's just an impressive figure that it resembles more a work of art, in my opinion. That's not a toy, that's clearly not a toy, and that's absolutely not the price for a toy. $85 is a lot. That will be my only main complaint with this figure. The price is just too high, which kind of makes the hobby a little too elitist, in my opinion, because we know that it's $85 more plus, right? It will go up, this figure. Not gonna First, it's not a figure that was distributed. It was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so it's not gonna go on sale. It was a made to order. They're avoiding losing money with the figure. It's not about even losing money, it's about maximizing their profits. And yeah, it's not cheap, but you get a lot of quality. I mean, if you analyze the figure outside of the US, I think it's gonna be way too expensive for you to get. Within the US, $85 compared to a lot of figures on the aftermarket price, Marvel Legends, that reach that price, I think it's not that bad because of the quality. The quality is just great. Here's the last accessory I'm gonna show, the little glass he has, which changes totally the vibe of the character. Again, he's more intellectual, he's now conscious, he's not an irrational being. He's just your friendly, smart, intellectual friend, Dragon Man, reading the Future Foundation book with his open set of hands. So it would look kind of like that, right? Super dope, super cool. Again, minimal accessories, but well thought, quality. They are quality, but mostly they thought about what they were doing. They were giving options that actually mean something to the character and totally change his expression, his vibe. So very cool figure, Dragon Man. I am very happy with him. I'm gonna put him aside some other Marvel Legends right now, but very interesting, highly articulated, very well painted, very well sculpted. My only problem would be definitely the price. But as I said, I think here in the US we're getting sometimes figures that are not worth that price point of $80, and some people they sell it for that, and you can see that they sell it for that because eBay actually has listings that been sold. So here's right next to Hulk. As you can see, Hulk is a little bit shorter, but Dragon Man is just way too chunkier than him. Even his hand, it is bigger, slightly bigger, but I do believe that it is a bigger hand. I don't know, just let me know if you think it's exactly the same sculpt but repainted. I don't know. It's clearly not the same sculpt because it has the texture of it, the skin, but I do also think that it is a little bigger. That was my impression. If you guys have the figure, please let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Is this a totally new hand or was it partially recycled? So here's my only comic book set of the Fantastic Four. It is mainly the Super Skrull, but I do not have the Human Torch Super Skrull, so it is the retro. So Reed Richards, Sue Storm, and retro Human Torch, and of course the thing right next to our amazing friend over here, Dragon Man. Here is Dragon Man right next to the MCU Fantastic Four. Very cool. Love the suits. There's all the figures. They are reviewed on my channel. Please take a look at that. My channel has been lately a lot focused on Fantastic Four, but was not planned. It was mostly because of the release of the film, and this Dragon Man, as I said, is definitely a surprise in my collection because I was not expecting to buy that figure. But I think he does pretty well with the MCU figures. I did hear that he was gonna join the MCU. I'm not sure if that's true, but hopefully we're gonna see more Dragon Man, and then this Dragon Man will probably not be done again. I do not believe, maybe in 30 years, but it took so long for them to make another Dragon Man. So I'm gonna give a grade 9 out of 10 to this Dragon Man. Very cool figure. Love the sculpt. Oh, here's the fingernails. You can see totally new sculpt. The long fingernails, super cool. And I do see here that he has 4 fingers now. So yeah, he definitely is not the same hand as the Hulk. But great figure, 9 out of 10. My only problem, the one point I'm gonna remove, is because of the price. It is a little too expensive. It is sad to think that we have to pay this price range to get a quality product. I know a lot of people say that Marvel Legends is not quality compared to Japanese brands. I disagree. I think they're quality, and they're been enhancing the quality, but they've been also enhancing the price, which then is up to you. I just feel like it's sad that they are keeping the hobby more towards the path of being elitist, and I do feel like they should start a new line, half the size, 375, like the Marvel Universe ones. I think they should just re-release those figures, for kids or for collectors that don't just, sometimes they just don't have the money. It's not that they don't see the value on Dragon Man, but they just don't have the money, and yeah, it's a little too much. But other than that, it's a great figure and definitely one of the best Marvel Legends released in 2025. So stay tuned to the Anti-Nerd channel. Keep in tune with the next reviews. I'm gonna be reviewing the Marvel vs. Capcom 2-packs, Wolverine, Silver Samurai, and Captain America Blue Venom in the next few days. So stay tuned to that, and bye bye.